Okay, so neat little trick here for you. Nuts. If for any reason your guitar's always going out of tune, it's probably the nut. 9 out of 10 times it's to do with the nut. Either it's sticking, maybe it's a poor quality, maybe it's good quality but it's just not been set up properly. Anyway, the thing is, on one of my guitars, which one I've been using a lot, the more I use it, the more problems I find with it, which is kind of like a thing with cheap guitars, but that shouldn't deter you from, you know, cracking on and getting the problem solved, because you can solve most problems very easily. So with a guitar nut, as you can see, that the strings pass through the nut, but they don't go straight, they go off at an angle like this. And I'm not saying that's going to cause problems, but sometimes it does cause problems. Let's say, for example, this is a graphite nut on here, and you know it's working okay, so I don't have to tweak it, don't have to touch it. If there's nothing wrong with it, leave it alone. So that's also, as you can see, the headstock goes off at an angle. So the whole idea of this is that these strings are in these slots, and there is friction there. There is some kind of friction, and where there is any kind of friction, there's going to be tuning instability. So we want to reduce the tuning instability as much as possible. This guitar has no problems at all. The other guitar, which would be a worst case scenario, the Explorer, has strings going off in radical directions from the nut. I'm going to show you how I solved the problem of the string sticking in the nut. The other thing to remember is that we're not actually changing the height of the nut. So where the string hits the nut here, we're not touching any of that. We're just touching what happens after that, and you'll see when we go to the next shot in the video. You can see, if you look at that string, if I come square, it kind of, hang on, it kind of doesn't fit in there very well. Anyway, let's do this one so you, and this one, hang on a minute. Just doesn't fit in there. But yeah, I mean, if you can see, the strings kind of get grabbed straight, and yeah, I don't know how to explain it really. They're not, then you know, they're just grabbing in there. It's only this one that's actually the E string here that's actually getting stuck, which is surprising. So I'm just going to try a few things and see what I can come up with. So here's what I did. Maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. It's really difficult getting in this close. You can see I kind of filed away this outside edge here, here and here, and then let me put strings in. And they're not tightened up yet, but so basically now, instead of sitting in all the way in the grooves, they're actually just, they're able to move. Can you see that? That one's the same. I'll tighten them up and we'll see. Okay, so I put the strings back on. I haven't put new strings on. I've just left the ones on for now because I didn't know whether I was going to change this nut. But anyway, so instead of changing the nut, which I thought I was going to do, a little bit of a modification there, stopping them strings from grabbing it. You know, the proof is it. So there's me. Yeah, there it is. I'm going to just kind of do this. But still in tune. Yep. Works. Okay, so I don't know whether that nut was plastic or whether it was graphite or what it was. I don't know. I don't think it was worn out. Otherwise, I would have swapped it out. The only problem with that nut is the fact that because of the design of the guitar, the strings are going off at a radical angle, and the friction was causing issues with tuning. Obviously we've taken away that friction issue, not too much, so the strings don't pop out or anything like that. The guitar's working fine. We'll get a gig it again and see what happens, but I'm pretty sure everything's fine with it. So that's the end of that. Hopefully you got some value from that, and I'll see you on the next video. Catch you later.